Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Hope you guys are having a great Memorial Day weekend, a weekend where we remember those that paid that ultimate sacrifice. And it may be weird to say have a great Memorial Day weekend, but man, I've heard so many veterans around the country say that that's what those that paid that ultimate sacrifice would want. They would want you to enjoy cookouts. They would want you to enjoy time with family. So I hope you guys are having a great Memorial Day weekend, but we do pause to remember those that did pay that ultimate sacrifice. Hey, look, 865 Live Memorial Day weekend is also a big recruiting weekend for Tennessee. We're going to talk about some of that, but I want to start talking about Gabriel Ascenda, the five-star offensive tackle, 6'7", 305 pounds. They call him the Big Squish. I talked about him early in the week last week because he committed to Tennessee during the Navy All-American Bowl back in January, and then he attended Rivals Camp in Atlanta over the weekend. He was named the camp MVP. He was asked about his recruitment. He said, "It is shut down. It is done. I am locked in. I am not taking official visits." But then a second video came out, and is it cause for concern? Should we be worried? Let's listen to what the Big Squish said.
As the months continue with you as a verbal commitment to the Vols, other programs circle back. We're in spring football, official visit season's right around the corner. Which programs are still knocking on that door, putting in the effort to change your mind?
Georgia is still trying to change my mind, but I'm not taking any visits as of right now. And
I'm not taking any visits as of right now. Look, when I put it out that his recruitment was locked down, the comments are always mixed, man. A lot of people celebrating, a lot of people excited for Big Squish, and then a lot of people saying a commitment means nothing until the pen hits the paper, and then he says, as of now. So should we be concerned about that? I just thought it was an interesting wording, and again, you're talking about an interview with a kid that just got done camping, but let's listen to the rest of the interview that Georgia is calling.
locked in.
What does a school like Georgia tell you? You're in Atlanta right now. I don't know if the dogs know that, but what do they tell you about why there may be a better opportunity in Athens relative to Knoxville?
Just the type of the linemen they produce. They produce a lot of high caliber athletes, a lot of high caliber NFL linemen. So that's really their main selling point, and just what I can do and how I can develop there.
Should Tennessee fans be worried at all?
Nah, I'm a Vol. I'm a Vol.
Don't be worried at all. Big Squish is a Vol. Now, Gabriel Ascenda will be here this weekend for 865 Live, along with some other guys that are currently committed. Carson Sneed, Zach Groves, Tyreek Keene. Of course, we know the story. Tennessee working to keep Carson Sneed in the boat. He's already taken his official visit to North Carolina, where his brother has transferred. He's also got officials scheduled with Ole Miss, Miami, and Tennessee on June the 20th. Also, I mentioned Zach Groves, Tennessee's most recent commit, four-star edge rusher. Made a video on him a couple of days ago. If you want to see his film, you want to see his scouting report, I will link that video at the end of this one. You can go find out who Zach Groves is. And then Tyreek King, four-star wide receiver, another guy that has also shut down his commitment, not taking any other visits other than coming back home to Rocky Top. So a good group of guys there that will be here to peer recruit. But who else is going to be in town for 865 Live? Well, there's a couple of guys out there that were once committed to Tennessee, but they reopened their recruitment. That's one is three-star defensive lineman Tyson Bacon, 6'4", 239 pounds out of Hoover, Alabama, committed to Tennessee back on October the 21st. Told Josh Heupel in the locker room after the win over Alabama, "I am all Vol." But then he decommits. He told Austin Price after the decommitment, this is what he had to say. Said, "It's my understanding that Tyson Bacon reached out to Tennessee and let him know that he would be decommitting because he and his family felt like he made the decision too early, and they will be taking plenty of visits." Now, everything that I've seen, everything that I've heard with Tyson Bacon is that Tennessee is still the front runner. Tennessee is still at the top of the list, but he will be here for 865 Live. He's already started taking some official visits. He visited Washington on May the 2nd. He's got officials scheduled with Georgia, already been there on the 16th. He's got Alabama on May the 30th, Florida on June the 13th, and then he'll take that final official to Tennessee on June the 20th. Brandon Anderson, another guy that was at one time committed to Tennessee, committed as a four-star interior offensive lineman, 6'5", 335 out of Kennesaw, Georgia, committed to the Vols back in October, around that same time frame, over Alabama, Auburn, Georgia, and several others. He dropped a new top five back in the spring, Alabama, Georgia, Florida State, Missouri, and Tennessee. Again, going to be here this weekend in town for 865 Live. Tennessee, the theme of this thing is to create some momentum going into official visit season. So Brandon Anderson and also Tyson Bacon will be here for 865 Live. And then Anderson will be here officially on June the 20th. Well, who else will be here? There is a long list of guys that are going to be in town this weekend. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. But as always, I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff for me. Just smash the thumbs up right down there below the video. It's quick, it's free, it's easy, it helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We don't pretend to be that. We don't pretend to be anything special. What we are is exactly what you guys are. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Going to be live tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, playing EA Sports College Football and talking all things Tennessee football. So let's get into it. Who is going to be here this weekend for 865 Live? And let's start with this guy right here. You can see the profile on the screen. 4-star offensive tackle, Kamari Blair, 6'6", 280 pounds, ranked inside the on 300 at number 275. And that's the theme here, man. There are so many blue chip prospects rolling through Knoxville right now. I think we truly have that shot to get that possible top 5, top 10 class in the class of 2026. Steve Wiltfong put out an update on Kamari Blair going into the weekend. He said Ole Miss got in early with the Clarksville, Tennessee on 300 offensive tackle Kamari Blair. Tennessee recently offered. He's excited about Glenn Ellerby, and the Vols are looking to make a move. Again, an in-state prospect, and that's what we're looking at here is a few of those in-state guys. Another one that is an in-state prospect that I want to talk about, and that is Craig Tutt. We'll get his profile up there on the screen as well. 4-star defensive back, 6 foot, 180 pounds, out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Again, another blue chip prospect, ranked 202 in the On3 industry rankings. Now, former teammates with Tennessee running back Dwan Morris at Oakland High School in Murfreesboro led them to their 5th state championship in 7 years last season. He was the TSSAA Class 6A Mr. Football runner-up in 2024. Everything seems to be that Tennessee is the front runner here. Ole Miss also battling as well. He's got official visits scheduled to those two programs. Ole Miss on June the 6th, Tennessee on June the 20th. But again, can Tennessee create that momentum? We talked about how AP has kind of put it out there that Tennessee has had a high success rate with these guys that show up for 865 Live on Memorial Day weekend and then come back for their official visit once we roll in to June. I would say probably the top in-state prospect that Tennessee is in pursuit of, or one of at least, would be Joel Wyatt. And you can see that profile on the screen there as well. 6'4", 185-pound athlete out of Bell Buckle, Tennessee. Second best player in the state of Tennessee, according to On3. 58th overall. Elite prospect here, ranks as the 3rd best athlete in the country. Steve Wiltfong, Tom Lloyd, most of the experts, most of the insiders have Tennessee as the front runner here for Joel Wyatt. He's been to campus 6 times, I believe, already. Going to be here again this weekend for 865 Live. Then he will return for his official visit. Plans to make a decision sometime over the course of the summer. Steve Wiltfong, again, going into the weekend, says my On3 RPM is on Tennessee. On3 athlete Joel Wyatt. LSU is also a major contender. Vanderbilt is in the mix, among others. If UT recruits him right, I think he ends up in Knoxville. Again, that is one of the top in-state prospects for Tennessee. Look, a lot of guys, so many other guys that I can't really go into depth, but we'll continue to cover over the course of the next few days. But a lot of guys are going to be here. 4-star running back Amari Latimer is going to be here. He's not been to campus since October of last year. And again, that buzzword, momentum. Tennessee trying to create some momentum here and get on the books, get on the schedule for an official visit with Amari Latimer. 4-star edge Hezekiah Harris is going to be in town as Tennessee looks to flip him. He is a current Auburn commit, but he looks to be shopping around. I think Tennessee has a shot there to flip Hezekiah Harris. Another 4-star edge rusher, Tristan Gibbons, is going to be in town. Steve Wiltfong right now sticking with Texas A&M in that one. But Tennessee, again, buzzword, looking to get some momentum, and they'll get an official visit from him on June the 13th. The last guy I want to talk about that's going to be here this weekend for 865 Live. And this is a guy that Coach Jay is extremely high on, and that is Braden Rouse, a 4-star linebacker, 6'3", 205 out of Marietta, Georgia, ranked 100th nationally, ranked as the 7th best linebacker in the country. What does Coach Jay like about him? This was his initial thoughts when I asked him, what do you think about Braden Rouse as a player. He said, real solid against the pass, 6'3", rangy, good. Told me, he said he's ranked inside the on 300, but I feel like he's underrated. And what's funny is at the time, just inside the on 300. Since then, he jumped almost 200 spots, ranked 100 nationally. Look, Tennessee got involved in this recruitment early. He's already been to town multiple times. The Vols seem to be the leader. Steve Wiltfong, again, going into the weekend, says one of the Vols' favorite prospects, regardless of position in this class of 26, is Marietta, Georgia. Kells on 300 linebacker Braden Rouse. He said, I like where Tennessee stands in the recruitment as they work to hold off Alabama, Michigan, and Texas. Getting him back one more time before summer officials shows how interested he is in the checkered orange. The Vols get the last official the weekend of June the 20th. Man, that's a big boy battle, right? Alabama, Michigan, Texas. I saw somebody put a thread on VolQuest talking about what Coach Inge has done since arriving in Knoxville on the recruiting trail, right? He's flipped an Alabama commit. He beat Georgia head-to-head, and now he's going against Alabama, Michigan, and Texas for Braden Rouse and seems to be the front runner. Coach Inge is recruiting at an elite level in that linebacker room. VolQuest put out an update late this week, says Tennessee continue to put its best foot forward in this recruitment. They are positioned well heading into a crucial stretch, but we expect Alabama, Michigan, and Texas to swing big during the month. He's got official visits scheduled: Alabama on May the 30th, Michigan on June the 6th, Texas on June the 13th, but the final visit, Tennessee gets the last official visit on June the 20th. That is a lot of guys. That is a lot of information, but I felt that was the best way to attack 865 Live, and we'll continue to cover this recruiting all the way through going into Monday, Tuesday, and give you guys the updates coming out of the visits. What are your thoughts? Who's your top prospect in this class of 26? Who's the guy that you're going to be watching throughout 865 Live and see if Tennessee can get that momentum? Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, make sure you smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. You can go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin VAWLS Network, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. There's also a link in the description below that you can do that. You can also support by joining the channel. Hit that join button down below. It's just $1, just $1 a month. Access to custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, fan call-in shows, all kinds of fun perks and benefits. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night, Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. We'll have a good time talking all things Tennessee football. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.